Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta. What ifs. Today I am back with a new short movie. The name of the short movie is What If Naruto Had Shikaku Sealed Inside of Him. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted short movie. Now before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Lagnus Locks 261 for suggesting this idea. He has been doing so for a while now on Apollo Uchiha channel. His idea was quite unique. He wanted a yandere female biju sealed inside of Naruto. And that biju being Shikaku as well. So here it is. I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and stay tuned for Apologia's story. I will be uploading it there as well today. Anyways, without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Our story begins far away from Konoha and the rest of the elemental nation, deep hidden within the forest, a secluded cave that was known to anyone except for two beings that resided there now. As we go inside the dark abyss to see red glowing eyes were boring back at the abyss, and these eyes belong to none other than Obito Uchiha, who has been residing here and training to get back at his home and his friends for what they have done. As now we see, as Obito was done training, we see that a figure appeared next to him. From the ground erupting, it was none other than Zetsu himself. Zetsu, do you have any intel on Konoha? It seems we still have a lot of time, Obito. A few weeks given until Kushina Uzumaki goes into labor. Any more news from Konoha? Nothing at the moment, no. Although there is a certain interesting news that has caught my ears. What? It belongs to Suna. It seems that Suna's Jinchuriki might also go into labor 2 days from now. As Obito's eyebrow rose. And your point is? Our target is Konoha first, right? To get the Nine Tails? It is, but we still haven't worked on the prototype seal. The one seal that destroys the Jinchuriki seals to free the biju. You're right about that. What do you suggest? I say we go and try it on Suna. And after freeing the Ichibi, we can use it to attack Konoha as well later on, distracting it. Think about all chaos that could erupt. Two bijus in one place. Konoha won't know what hit them. It will weaken Konoha and we will be able to get the both bijus out easily, since most of the shinobis will be distracted dealing with the One Tails. You're not wrong about that. We still have to test the seal as well. I think this is a good idea. We should head first towards Suna. And so both of them departed. 2 days later, at the night time, we go towards Sunagakure, village hidden in the sand, where we see Rasa's wife was undergone labor, as her youngest child was born tonight. As soon as he was born, the Jinchuriki was tired, way too much exhausted. But before anything could happen, ready medical attention was given to her. All hell broke loose when the lights went out, and when the lights were returned, the Jinchuriki was missing. The wife of their Kage was missing. Immediately, the shinobis went into action trying to locate the Kage, but what followed suit was the roar of the mighty One-Tails, as the One-Tail Biju Shikaku was freed, indicating that the Jinchuriki was no more. And what followed suit was destruction of the outer walls of Suna before the Biju escaped. As after that, news spread out, as the Biju attacked Suna and escaped. Back in Konoha, the population of Konoha, after finding out about this news, grew worried, as they knew that what happened with the female Jinchuriki of Suna could happen in Konoha as well, with their female Jinchuriki Kushina. As now we see inside the council meeting, Minato, with a frown, was listening into the civilian side of concerns. We don't hate Kushina or anything. She's my friend. You know that more than anything, Minato-sama. But we are worried about our kids and a lot of people here. They are civilians, not shinobis. And what happened at Suna, we know that it might be an accident, but we need to make sure we take every precautions necessary, because anything could happen. As Minato sighed, looking towards Hiruzen and the others, he noticed that even Hiruzen was somewhat concerned and whatnot. I hear your concerns, but Kushina is a female Uzumaki, or have you forgotten? And Uzumakis are known for their vitality as well as for their Fuinjutsu arts. The very yards that we use to seal the biju within. Even so, Minato, even if it is true what you say, we need to make sure that we, from our end, make every precaution necessary. Alright? What do you all suggest? Minato, if I may say, said Hiruzen as he stood up. There is an undisclosed location that I will tell you about later. Far away from Konoha, but not that far away from reach if needed arise. That is where you will go with the, well, medic team. And Kushina will go into labor there when necessary. I see. And I will be on standby there? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Who better than you? I mean, you won't have to be paranoid in this way. You will be close to them, guarding them with your own way and perspective. And the shinobis will be spread out as you desire. As everyone agreed to that, as Minato then sighed, fine, I agree to these terms. As now, we see Minato head back to his home. As there, Kushina was waiting for him on the couch with a frown on her face. What is it, Kushina-chan? Why are you sad? I heard what happened to Suna. I can see it in the eyes of people, their concern arising. They are right to concern and fear what they don't understand, Kushina. I know, Minato, but they have little to no trust in us. And that is what I fear. What if something goes bad and they mistreat our child for something he has no desirable? As Minato's eyes widen, that won't happen. That is just a backup plan. The backup plan of what? Both of us dying? I won't be able to survive giving birth, and the extraction of the biju. Even you know that. And you will use the Hakefu in dying, leaving our child behind. What do you think would happen? These people, if not them, then the rest of the elemental nation that we have made the enemies of, Eva, Kumo, they will try their best to get him. Kill him? Make a slave out of him? I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. That won't happen, Kushina. I promise you that. As after that we see Kushina and Minato were in for a surprise. As weeks went by, the day of the, well, going into labor came, as October 10th came finally, as Kushina was taken far away from the village in a secluded location. It was a cave that was deep hidden within the Hokage monument, but nobody knew about, except for the Kages. As there we see, Minato was pacing now back and forth, as he could hear the screams of Kushina since she has undergone labor. As after a few struggles, Minato heard a cry of a child. And then he heard the struggles again, sensing that something was wrong. And then surprisingly heard another cry of a child, as his heart almost stopped. Wait, I thought that... Minato thought to himself, as that is when Bivako, with a smile on her face, opened the door and brought two children outside. One of them had red hair and looked feminine, while the other one had tan skin and blue eyes. Both of them had only one feature in common aside from their facial structure, and that was the prominent whisker marks on each side of their cheek. As after that we see, Minato smiled, but at the same time he was shocked. Kushina, but I thought that... I kept it a secret, Minato. A surprise. Meet your children, Naruto and Mito Uzumaki Namikaze. We had twins, Minato. As Minato was close to passing out, but before he could do so, a roar was heard as they all sensed a chakra, and suddenly the earth began to shake. What is going on? We have to go back to the village fast. As all of them began to retreat back to the village. As soon as they arrived, Minato, using the Harishin, brought them to the safe house. And after doing so, he arrived at the front lines, where he sensed a lot of shinobis gathering. Hiruzen-sama, what the hell is going on? He stopped as he saw the huge visage of the One-Tails. As after that we see, Minato stopped. What the hell is One-Tails doing here? That is what we want to know. You're very worried about the Kyuubi, but how is the One-Tails here? All the while, Kushina on the other side had taken her own precautionary measures and made hand seals to erupt the barrier around herself and her children, increasing more and more barriers. She was already exhausted, and the chakra exhaustion was kicking in fast, but these barriers, while still active, will allow her and her children to be not harmed by any force outside or any genjutsu whatsoever. As now we see, taking the chances the masked person appeared. Or Obito appeared, being the masked person. Kushina Uzumaki, I have come for you. What do you want? I want the biju that resides within you. If you don't want anything happen to your children, then give up the biju. No, I see that you didn't understand me correctly. I will kill your children if you don't hand over the biju or cooperate. Try. As Kushina said so with a cocky smirk, the masked person, having lost of his strands of nerves, as he tried to touch Kushina, but his hand literally began to melt, as the skin began to melt from his hand. Ugh! What did you do? Like I would ever tell you. I'm giving you a chance. Leave while you can, or otherwise, I'm not gonna be so kind. What you can do. As suddenly from behind him, a chakra chain erupted and pierced him straight through the guts. As now we see, Kushina, being in weakened state, ripped out the chain as it began to, in a protective manner, rotate around herself and her barrier. Leave while you can. I won't ask the same again. Damn it. I didn't anticipate that. Damn it all. As now we see, the masked person, knowing that he had to retreated back into the shadows to get treated, and so did Zetsu, leaving the One-Tailed to deal with Konoha. As now we see Minato having an idea, went back to Kushina, where he found Kushina using her little bit of chakra that she had before she could pass out to seal away the biju inside, or half of it at least, inside Mito. Kushina, what are you doing? I have to seal the half biju inside Mito to ease up the load on myself. I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna pass out soon if I don't do this right. Can I help? No. You would only make things worse, Minato. Why are you here? I can still sense Shikaku. I have to go with plan B. You're not using the Hakai Fuyin seal. I won't. I promise. I won't. Good. Are you going to seal it in Naruto? Yes. There is no other choice. Suna will give us hell. If anything, they would be at least at peace knowing that we have it. And besides, they didn't contain it or were able to find it. It found its way into our property and our home, and we as a nation have a right to defend it and claim over it. Alright. Just make sure nothing happens to my goddamn child, you hear me? We'll rip you to shreds. After hearing that, Minato gulped, as after that we see, taking Naruto, he sighed and disappeared in a yellow flash, all the while Kushina, eating some chakra pills as well as blood pills, was able to regain herself and consciousness for a little while until half of the biju, which was the inside, the good side, transferred to her daughter, Mito. As after that we see the barrier still up, Kushina passed out, hugging her daughter close, fearing that the masked person still might return. While on the other side, Minato appeared with Naruto on the battlefield. What the hell are you doing with your child here, Minato? Said Fugaku. Fugaku, the biju is in a genjutsu. Look at his eyes. As the other clan heads alongside Fugaku looked, Sharingan? But how? How can... Wait, that pattern. I know that pattern from the records. Whose is it? Said Hiyashi. It cannot be. Whose is it, Fugaku? Said Hiyashi. As Hiruzen also nodded. We want to know. Madara's. But it's impossible. Now's not the time. As after that we see Minato drawing the 8 pentagram seal, begin to do the hand seals, as golden chains erupted from his back, as blood seeped out from his lips. As after that, another chain erupted from his stomach, going directly and connecting to the seal. As being purified, the biju slowly begin to transfer into Naruto, and after doing so, the fern tail was also a biju of Konoha, and a Jinchuriki was made. As now we see Minato on his knees. Damn it. Minato, are you alright? Naruto, my son. Kushina is at a safe house, Hiruzen-sama. You need to take care of herself and medics. They also were injured. All if you have to take care of them. As after that, we see Minato passed out. As after doing so, we see that Hiruzen picked up Minato alongside with Naruto. As all of them begin to retreat, as Fugaku then said, we need to talk about the Sharingan. I know now is not the time, but I'm fearful. If that man is alive out there, as much as Konoha is in danger, my clan is as well. Since we didn't stand by him, we will deal and talk about this later once Minato is recovering. Yeah, I know. I'm just. It's alright. I know you're shaken as well as we are. Everything will be fine, Fukaku. We'll make sure Konoha and your clan is protected. We'll make sure of that. As after that we see Fukaku's side. As now we see Minato was taken to the hospital, where Kushina was also in a comatose state alongside with Minato. And both of the children, they were resting. As Hiruzen was looking at them, we see Kakashi arrive alongside his team. Team reporting, sir. No casualties found, but a lot of debris at the outer skirts. I see. It's a good thing that no casualties occurred, and we were all taking precautionary measures. Yes, but what about Sensei and Kushina-sama? They're fine. They're just recovering and in a comatose state, because of the exhaustion that they suffered. Especially Kushina. She, on her own, was able to seal away half of the biju, splitting it in half as well into her child, while also trying her best to keep herself alive and protecting with a barrier from what we have heard. Minato has also sealed the front tails inside his boy. I hope that the twisted biju doesn't corrupt the child. I have heard horrific stories from what has happened to Suna's Jinchuriki. I hope it doesn't happen here. As now we go inside Naruto's mindscape, where we see the one-tailed rampaging, trying to break from the seal, until it sensed something, as its eyes soften. What? It cannot be. As suddenly we see the one-tails morph and transform into a humanoid form. A feminine one at that. It's impossible. His chakra. How can it be here? It's not possible. Not possible at all. As now we see, on the other side, in Konoha, a council meeting was going on as Hiruzen had to take the place as the Kage. As the council was quite worried of what has happened, more than ever, of learning that Madara's Sharingan was involved. As now we see, Townsend stood up and said, we have learned some disturbing news tonight. This was orchestrated with Hiruzen. The attack on Minato and Kushina, I believe it was to get the Kyuubi as well. Who could have done such a thing? Who else? And Uchiha is involved, but not from the Uchiha clan, that much is certain. The Sharingan of the most dangerous Uchiha is involved in this all. We have to do something about that. I don't know what will happen if that man is allowed to live or use that Sharingan any longer. A Sharingan of that caliber is a waste if it is destroyed. We need it back. Back in the village. No, it needs to be destroyed. Those eyes are cursed. The eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. These eyes were made with the eyes of his own brother, after he combined his eyes and his brother's eyes together. As everyone was disgusted by it. The Mangekyo will make you go blind, but eternal, it won't. And that is what Madara had, and went against with first Hokage at the Battle of the Valley of the End using it. So now we know. So what do you think we should do? Increase the search parties. All of the Kages must be informed of this as well. What are we gonna do about Suna then? They, after finding out that we have their biju, would want it back. Actually, they won't. What? What do you mean by that? Hiruzen, said Danzo. By the law stated in the treaty of the whole elemental nation, if a biju from another village is freed and attacks another village, and if the village is able to defeat it and seal it, by law and right, the biju belongs to them as their property now. So that is what we have done. But the treaty that we hold with them, it might break. That is true, but still, we have to try. As this was going on, we go back to the Uzumaki Namikaze family, where we see Minato woke up as he gasped. After pushing himself up from the bed, he found himself near his wife, as well as both of his children. Thank God. Sensei, you're awake. Yeah. I need water, Kakashi. My head is hurting bad. As after drinking some water and calming down, Minato asked, brief me, Kakashi, what has happened? Council meeting has went down. Hiruzen-sama has went away on a Kage summit now. What? How long was I out? A week, Sensei. A week has passed since October 10th. As Minato's eyes widen, Kushina, she's in a comatose state. She is recovering slowly because of what she has done is being extremely dangerous and, well, quite terrifying for both child and her. Thankfully enough, both of your children are fine. I see. Thank God. Well, I have heard some interesting news about you in these days, Minato, said another knowing voice to Minato, as Minato's eyes widened to find who it was. Jiraiya-sensei. I knew you were coming. You were passed out cold, kid. How would you have known if I even came? Said Jiraiya with a smirk. God damn it, kid. You almost gave me a heart attack when I found out what happened. You and Kushina both are wild. You know that? I guess so, in some sense. Why are you here, Sensei? It's about the prophecy. Prophecy? Yeah. I think that... I don't know. It's either one of your children. What do you mean? When the yellow and red bore the child far in the west, as that is when the peace will preserve, with the dark sword looming over one of them. What could that mean? For all I care, I don't know. The old toad might be babbling in while drinking opium. But he says that it is a prophecy given to him by the gods, so yeah, at least I have to try. What do you say, Sensei? Who might it be? I don't know, Minato. To be honest, I think you should treat them both fairly and... What kind of even answer is that, Sensei? Of course I'm gonna treat them fairly. I mean, train them properly and, just be parents. Everything will be fine, I'm sure of it. I mean, if it is one of their fates, they will be able to save the world, I guess. I guess you're right then. So, have you heard any news about the masked person who attacked us? To be honest, it has been making a buzz. Since the other Jinchurikis as well as other nations have also gotten worried of this person. If he was able to break into their village with the tight security and get the Jinchuriki, which was closest to the Kage, not only once but twice, what could he do? And not only that, the news has spread out that Madara's Sharingan was involved, and it has spread like wildfire across the whole elemental nation. People are worried that the mighty Uchiha, the Yami no Shinobi's powers are being used for not good at all. I know so, Sensei. What do you think we should do? Nothing. Time will heal everything. In the meantime, leave the spy network to me. I'm gonna try my best to locate that son of a bitch and bring him in front of you and everyone here. As after that, Minato left. As now we see Naruto and Mito in looking towards Minato with a smile on their face. Well, I guess until your Kachans wakes up, it is you and me, kiddos. As after that we see Kushina did wake up after a month, and after being briefed what has happened, we see that Hiruzen decided it was time for Minato to retire for a few more years to enjoy some family life. And Minato was grateful for that. And so the Uzumaki Namikaze family enjoyed their life without any missions or whatsoever. Just spending time like a normal family, and as their children grew up. As a few years passed, we see both of the kids became 5 years of age. While Mito was ever energetic as goofball as she was, Naruto was quite reserved and always talking to himself and somewhat worried that if anyone got close to him, he might cut himself. And that became evident when a girl known as Ino tried to get close to him until a sand barrier erupted out of nowhere. As immediately Minato and Kushina came in front of the child, protecting it from Naruto as Naruto was afraid. As now we see, after that incident, Naruto has grown distant to the other kids, not wanting them to get hurt. Even his own sister, but his sister being the goofball as she was always able to get close to him, without any consequences for somewhat reason. As Naruto was at least happy that his sister and his parents were at least able to get close to him. As now we see, it was their 5th birthday as Naruto himself wasn't present downstairs while everyone was celebrating. He was upstairs trying his best to avoid the others, as a voice from within him told him again and again, "You're mine. You do not need anyone at all." As after that, hearing these voices, Naruto succumbed to his sleep. As in his sleep, now we see a vivid flashbacks. A man looking like Naruto, wearing a white robe with tomos on them. As he was holding on to a hand of a girl, a beautiful girl whose eyes were also golden, alongside her hair that was sandy looking, her sand like skin, as well as her her wearing brown clothes with blue markings on it. And this was none other than Shikaku, or Ichibi, in her human form, and she was in love with the youngest brother of her from her father. Since they were technically not, well, siblings, she fell in love with him, but he died while trying his best to stop the war between his brothers, his older brothers, and that being none other than Indra and Asura. His name was also Naruto. She missed her fish cake, and after that death, she has gone violent to the point that she would literally make her Jinchurikis torture themselves before they succumb to their death, wishing that they were dead. And now, here it was, in this child, the very soul that might have been reborn, like her Naruto. Even the name was same, even every facial feature, everything was like as it was a carbon copy of it. The only difference being this Naruto doesn't remember her, but that didn't matter to her. Eventually, he will become hers. As now we see inside Mindscape, Naruto was actually resting while being hugged by her. As now we see, downstairs in the, well, real world, Minato and Kushina were greeting the guest until Hiruzen noticed something was miss. Minato, Kushina, where is Naruto? Isn't it his birthday as well? Naruto tends to avoid these kind of interactions. I think it might be because of Shikaku acting up. I mean, she tends to get violent. Remember what she did to her previous Jinchurikis? Yeah, we all know. How about Mito? She doesn't look hurt. Surprisingly enough, Mito is only allowed to get close to him, alongside us. If it is anyone else... No, that's a big no. I mean, Yamanaka from Yamanaka clan tried. Inoichi was almost dead when he saw what happened and heard what happened. And Naruto felt sad after, well, doing that on his own. So that is why I think it would be best if we leave Naruto alone. We will celebrate his birthday in the morning while everyone leaves. As after that we see, Hiruzen understood. As this was going on in Konoha, we go all the way towards Amegakure. There inside, deep hidden caves, tunnels that were dig underneath the village, we see in one of them was a room in which the same masked person, or Obito, was resting. The wounds long healed, as even recovered, but the mark still remained there. As he was looking towards the mirror, remembering those nights when he almost had two bijus all by himself and lost both of them at the same night as well. What is it, Zetsu? What do you want? Some interesting news has appeared. Turns out the Shikaku is also torturing Naruto, and the Kyuubi's Jinchuriki, the new one, has also a good bond with him. What? What do you mean by that? It's surprising, and quite a traumatic one as well. Both of the Bijus are somewhat recent with their Jinchurikis and don't mind being with them. This is bad. If both of them are able to use the ultimate Biju mode, then how are we gonna deal with them? And my Genjutsu won't even work. As Obito coughed huge amount of blood. Damn that Uzumaki. Using a cursed poison blade. Using it to even solidify the poison with Fuinjutsu within my intestines. Giving me this disease. You're lucky that you were able to escape. If she had used that seal, you might have been killed that instantly. Damn it. That is why we needed to form this organization. So how far the work is done? We're still trying our best to gather the resources and funds and some potential recruits. It will take time. As after that we have another time skip. Time skip of 8 years later. Naruto and Mito were now both at the age of 13 and had gone through academy. Both of them being the Rookie of the Year, Shinobi and Konoichi of the Year. Naruto's, well, friends, well, surprisingly enough, were made, and they were only males or either ninkenpops, and even they were males. Prime example being Kiba and Akamaru. as the females were quite worried why they couldn't get close to Naruto because the sand barrier would erupt, as most of the guys would tease Naruto that he secretly hates girls, as Naruto tried his best to not say any of that, and, well, in a teasingly manner, didn't say anything, while his friends just teased him. And now, that is how their academy life went, all the while training their best as they could. As now we see, Naruto was trying his best to rest until he was back in his mindscape, in front of Shikaku again. Yes, I missed you, and you know that I hate it when you don't cuddle me at least once a day. But I'm working right now. I'm this close to graduating and becoming a shinobi. You know how I hate that word. They just go out there, do as they please, and hunt one another down. It's not a life for you, Naruto. But I want to be a shinobi. You know that, I know that. Can you at least support me in this? Please? No, I won't. Please? Said Naruto, as Shikaku rolled her eyes. Fine. God damn it. If I didn't love you so much, I would have never done this for you. Thank you. Love you too, Shikaku-chan. Over the course of years, Naruto and Shikaku has also formed a bond of sort. At the age of 6, Naruto and Shikaku came face to face. Obviously, Naruto was afraid in her biju state until she transformed into her humanoid state, especially similar to age of Naruto, and became his first female friend aside from his sister. It was all her plan, and from then on, both of them were growing in the similar age group. Obviously, it was easy for her to manipulate her humanoid form as much as she wanted, as now she was also in the age of 13, similar to Naruto, as both of them also acted like boyfriend and girlfriend, since she was the only girl that Naruto grew ever close to, and became best friend to, aside from his sister or mother. As now we go to the present where we see Naruto's name was called, and after doing and conducting his test, Naruto got his headband. You're treating me to some ramen later on, Naruto. You better not forget. Hey, you can't even eat ramen, you know that? Of course I can. Okay, just don't get mad at me, jeez. As after that we see Naruto was stopped by Ino as well as Sakura and even Hinata. Naruto-kun, you did great, you know that? We were hoping that... No, stay away from me, said Naruto as his eyes turned into golden slits with blue markings in his eyes. As Naruto's facial features also began to change, and so did his voice, as a feminine voice within Naruto's voice spoke, as the girls got scared as Naruto then said, "Ah, god damn it, not again, why are you doing this continuously?" As Shikaku did nothing but pout, as after that we see Naruto finally meet with his sister, who got onto him. Yo, little brother, for the last time, I'm not little than you, we're both the same age, and I was born first. Nah, I was born first. I'm your big sister. You should respect me, Naruto. Am I right or am I right, Kurama? Kid, you meant you were wrong or you were right, right? No, I said what I said. Ugh, I'm not going to involve myself into this. You kids deal with this on your own. Ah, come on. You're not help at all. Hey, let me rest, kid, for the last time, said Kurama. Since this was the good side of Kurama, and the reasonable one, he thought that he had bad blood with the parents, not with the kid, and decided to give it a shot out of curiosity, and to his dismay and, well, troublesomeness, he, even if he hated it, got close to the kid, and saw the kid as his own ward, as of a sort. But if anything, he was worried about the boy, and how Shikaku was getting close to him. As telepathically Kurama then spoke to Shikaku. Shikaku, what is it, Kurama? As instead of the huge fox, we see Kurama transform into his own male form, which was a male fox wearing a yukata and wooden sandals. You know that both of you are enough, as a sand blade was thrown towards him, but it disappeared as soon as it was close. After all these years, he is not him. The Naruto you know is gone. He's a different kid. You don't understand anything. I finally have him back. I know more than anything that even if he and the other Naruto were different, he's still mine. He respects me, loves me, and I love him as well. So you do know that he is different from our Naruto, right? Yes. Then why are you hell-bent on making him fall in love with you? I can see it, that you're trying to use your matrices to change his mind continuously. He's not even interested in the girls of his own age, thanks to you and your involvement. So, you're destroying his social life. The kid might end up being alone. He won't be. I'll be there with him. Shikaku, Naruto is enough, Kurama. I know more than anyone that Naruto is dead. I have found myself a new soulmate. I will be damned if anything happened to him. You hear me? Fine. I'll leave it to you then. But just remember, I'll always be here to protect the kids. And if you try to harm Mito or her family, I will come after you. And the family includes Naruto as well. Remember that. Why are you so hell-bent on protecting them? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you heard me. You were the one who said that they were nothing more than shinobi dirtbags and whatnot. I had bad blood between the previous generations, but the new generation is more sensible. And Mito, even if being a knucklehead in her own right, she is kind of grown on me. And she is my ward. Your ward? Is that how you say being imprinting a child? I haven't imprinted on her. My wife Hinari is long dead. And our children, which are fox kids and foxes, live around in the nature. And that is all. And as for Mito, she resembles your daughter, doesn't she? Yours and Inari's daughter that perished in your very arms. Enough, said Kurama, as his eyes reddened, as the whole atmosphere began to crack, as a huge amount of killer intent was released. Not a single word about Shiruni. See for yourself, Kurama. You and I both know, brother, that we here exist peacefully with these children because they somehow resemble our loved dead ones, don't they? But they have grown on their own way on both of us. Even I know that, and nobody, even you or any other biju, won't be able to separate me from Naruto. And that is the bottom line here. After that dreadful warning, we see that both of the bijus decided it was best to avoid each other for the time being, as the kids went on about with their family and enjoyed themselves. As now we see, the team selection came, as both of them were selected in Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha and Kakashi Hatake, and went on a lot of D-rank missions, and finally on a C-rank mission which turned out to be quite disastrous A-rank. First they dealt with the Demon Brothers, and not only that, they dealt with none other than Zabuza Momochi. Thanks to Naruto's sand control, thanks to Shikaku, Naruto was able to block most of his attacks, thanks to sand wall or sand barrier, while Kurama's abilities came in handy thanks to Mito and Kurama's bond, as well as Kakashi and Sasuke were also trying their best to help and protect the bridge builder Tazuna, who they were sending back home. As after that we seeing that he was outnumbered and had two Jinchurikis to deal with, Zabuza Momochi cut his losses short and decided to leave. And after his escape, we see that they made their way back to the Land of Waves, where Tazuna rested. After a few days, Naruto, had his encounter with Haku after his fight with Inari, and the next morning he went back to the home where he found goons of Gato. After dealing with them, he went to the bridge where he saw that Zabuza and Gato were there. Seeing this, Naruto rushed to Mito's side, who was injured at the moment, as Mito was leaking red chakra. But at that same moment, Zabuza decided to snap the neck of Naruto with his sword, cleaving it off, or tried to. Keyword tried, as huge sand appeared on Naruto's neck, as sand gripped the blade so hard that the blade cracked and destroyed itself. As suddenly Naruto's body began to shake, as his face began to morph. You were going to hurt him. You were going to kill him, weren't you? Said a feminine voice in a demonic tone. As after that we see a huge amount of killer intent released, as a huge sand monster appeared. The One-Tails appeared. As after that, seal matrix of sand bomb appeared that was dropped on them, destroying everything in its vicinity, killing all of them instantly. As after that we see Naruto within Shikaku tried to calm him. Shikaku, calm down. Enough. You don't know what's best for you, Naruto. I have to get rid of them so that they won't hurt you again. It's already done, please. I'm scared. Calm down. Naruto said, hugging Shikaku, and Shikaku for the first time began to calm down after this enrage that she felt. As after that we see, as soon as Shikaku calmed down inside Naruto's mindscape, Shikaku hugged Naruto. I almost lost you. I won't lose you again. Never again, Naruto. I'm here, aren't I? I'm not going anywhere. And you're not losing me. I promise. As after that we see, Naruto calmed the crying Shikaku down and flicked her on the head. Ow! What was that for? For scaring the hell out of me. Remind me not to get to your bad side ever again. You just did. As both of them begin to laugh and chuckle while Naruto was unconscious in the physical world. As Tazuna then decided to rebuild the bridge again after the whole crater that was created there. As Kurama was also at peace knowing that Shikaku was at least able to control her rage thanks to Naruto. As after being done, we see that they decide to return back to Konoha. While returned, they decided to camp for a night just nearby Konoha. And as they were camping, we see Kurama and Shikaku talking to one another. I'm proud of you, Shikaku. For what, brother? You were able to at least hold in your rage. You have to thank Naruto for that. I know. I'm glad. You talk about yourself, brother. I saw you losing your cool as well. He decided to hurt my ward. Of course I was enraged. But thanks to you and you stepping in, I was able to calm my nerves down. As after the return, the Chunin exams arrived. And this time of the year, all of the Kages decided to also send in their Jinchurikis to participate, or just to watch. And Akatsuki alongside with Orochimaru got the wind of it. And so the time came for Obito to have his revenge and extract all the bijus in one go. The first test happened, as in canon. The second, Orochimaru encounter did happen, but Naruto, thanks to Shikaku and Kurama being friendly towards Mito, were able to defend themselves and escape his clutches thanks to both of the bijus' intervention. And after that, the news spread out about Orochimaru. The Chunin exams went on with the preliminary rounds, and after the preliminary rounds ended, 1 month gap was given in which both Mito and Naruto were trained by Jiraiya to become the Toad Sanin. And after training was done and becoming the Toad clan member, we see that the final rounds happened, as Naruto as well as Mito were going to face one of their adversaries. Mito was going to face Neji, while Naruto was going to face none other than Kankuro from Suna. As the battle was about to begin, suddenly, a huge amount of feathers began to fall down. It was a genjutsu, said Shikaku, as both Naruto and Mito weren't affected by it, and most of the high-level shinobis as well, alongside the Kages. As Orochimaru trapped the Kages, reviving the old ones and making them face their own ancestors, all the while trying to attack the Kages as well. As this was going on, we go towards Naruto and the other Akatsuki members, as they were trying to target all the Jinchurikis, as the Jinchurikis through their bijus telepathically talked and decided to want the Jinchurikis to come together, and as soon as they did, all the Akatsuki members did as well. As the battle continued, we see that Naruto was the one who decided to jump in and save Mito from one of the attacks from the Mad Bomber Deidara, as his back was injured badly as Naruto was thrown, and this was the last thing he needed. Shikaku broke the seal, as well as transformed into her complete demonic state, much more so than the, traditional Shikaku. And after transforming into it, she let out a mighty roar. And she wasn't alone. Kurama, also sensing the distress of her ward and her enraged-filled emotions, decided that he needs to take control of her, or otherwise both of their hatred combined will do. And Kurama, also taking over Mito, transformed as well. And the other bijus also helped out their Jinchurikis and transformed. And now Akatsuki knew they done fucked up, because all the 9 bijus were at their tail. And more than ever was Shikaku. She was the most vicious with them, dealing with them in the most brutal and cruelest way possible, and torturing them to the last dying breaths. And even Suna's army, seeing the murderous Shikaku, decided to escape and retreat back. All the while, Orochimaru, trying his best to escape, failed and got captured by her, and in the end was crushed by the sand coffin. But it didn't end it there. Shikaku began to go on a rampage. Sensing this, Mito got up and combined her strength with Kurama. As Naruto, who was injured, tried his best to stop Shikaku, but she wouldn't listen. And in the end, all the 8 bijus combined had to stop Shikaku from destroying Konoha and the rest of the elemental nation, stopping her in her rampage and waking Naruto up and healing him. As now we see, after that, Naruto and the other bijus were recognized by not only Konoha but the elemental nation as the heroes who saved them, and the Katsuki were no more, and the Orochimaru as well. Suna was questioned for their loyalty towards the nations, and they were all prosecuted immediately. The shinobis were taken in as prisoners, the civilians disbanded, and Suna was no more because of the conspiracy against the whole elemental nation and their ally at the time, Konoha. As now we go towards Naruto, who was resting. Inside the mind cave we see Naruto came face to face with Shikaku, who was on her knees and in tears. Stay away from me, Naruto. I'm not afraid anymore, Shikaku. I know what you did was bad, but I almost lost control. I was just so afraid of losing you. You won't lose me ever again. I love you, Shikaku. I only want you to stay with me. To hell with everyone else. As Naruto hugged her close from behind, we see that for the first time, Shikaku and Naruto kissed. And as soon as she did, Shikaku seal broke as Shikaku, in her physical form, materialized next to Naruto. And soon after that, Naruto's family came inside for the most shocking discovery of their life. Naruto and Shikaku were making out as Minato, Kushina, and as well as Mito's jaw dropped to the ground. What the hell is going on here, Naruto? As Naruto flushed red, as that is when Shikaku introduced herself and bowed. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I hope you treat me well, Okasama, Otosama, and One-sama. At least she treats me like a big sister, so she's okay in my books. As Kushina passed out after finding out that her daughter-in-law is going to be the one-tailed Jinchuriki. As the QB inside her, which was the evil side and the good side, was both laughing at this. Even the evil side could have a chuckle out of Kushina's dismay, at least. As Minato, well, he was passed out cold while standing. As Naruto then said, you don't have to break out the news like that. I mean, look at them. No worries, everything will be fine. I'm sure it will be, she said while giggling. In the end, Shukaku was able to finally be closer to her Naruto, and she won't allow anyone to harm him ever again. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for Apollo Chia's story. It will be also uploaded soon. As for the meantime, this is it. Peace. See you. Bye.